Hey, it's John Nemo, and I want to talk to you today about a LinkedIn lie. This is a LinkedIn strategy, a tactic that I see so many people recommending, and it's really akin to going out into your backyard and lighting your wallet on fire. So that's the analogy my dad used with me when I first turned 18 and wanted to go to casinos. He said, about gambling. He was like, you might as well go out in the backyard and light your money on fire, when you're gambling. And not that this tactic is the same as gambling, but it's just not effective. If you're using LinkedIn for lead generation, for wanting to get engagement from your ideal prospects so that they will eventually hire you for, 5 and 6 figure type consulting deals, or if you have a small business, you have a service. What I found is this tactic does not work. And yet, it's one of the first things most people come to me when they're interested in getting help with LinkedIn lead generation. The first thing they'll ask about is this strategy, with it, which is LinkedIn advertising. That's kind of the big lie I want to talk about today is, oh yeah, LinkedIn ads, isn't that the right place to be? How should I do it? And et cetera. And if you're not familiar with LinkedIn ads, let me just explain it a little bit. LinkedIn, obviously, with 1 billion members, 1 billion with a B, they have all this data, just an incredible amount of data, members in over 200 countries, 2 new people are joining every single second. So there's no shortage of your ideal leads on LinkedIn, especially if you're doing business to business or B2B. One of the ways that LinkedIn monetizes the platform, of course, is selling advertising. So there's a couple different ways you can do LinkedIn ads. One is you can run kind of the old school display ads, and you'll see them if you're using LinkedIn, especially on a desktop, little banner ads or little squares. You'll also see what's called boosted content. So if you're scrolling through the LinkedIn newsfeed, you'll see certain posts, especially it's usually the second or third post down, that is obviously an ad, right? It's a video or text or something like that. And there's other ways that people monetize ads as well, but those are the main ones, is either display ads or boosted posts, which means you create a piece of content, a status update, something in the newsfeed, a video, content, whatever, and then you pay for LinkedIn to show it to certain members that you want to get in front of. And there's also like LinkedIn forms and things like that you can use. The problem with LinkedIn ads, long story very short, is they're just insanely expensive. So if you look at most online advertising on social networks, you're going to pay anywhere from, say, 50 cents to maybe $5 per click or per conversion. So if your end goal is, hey, I want to get someone to click on my ad and opt in to get my, ebook or my lead magnet or watch my webinar, right? You have the conversion costs of, maybe from the time someone sees your ad until they click through and register to get your ebook and join your email list. Maybe it costs 50 cents per person or $5 per person. Of course, these are all the metrics that you want to know. With LinkedIn ads, the typical cost per click, just to get someone to look at your content, not even necessarily convert, is anywhere from $5 to $10. That's based on my own experience doing this, testing it. I test it, every few months just to see if something's changed. The cost has never come down. That's the biggest thing with LinkedIn ads. My biggest reason why I really call it a lie as far as a good way to generate leads is it's just so cost prohibitive. Now, if you're Apple or BMW or Nike and you have unlimited budgets, it's great. Or if you're selling, a $10 million service and you can pay, $200 per qualified lead that clicks through and fills out a form, that's great. But if you're trying to get a lot of volume and a lot of, leads to start their process to, opt in for a free copy of your book or check out your webinar or go to your website page, you're not going to be able to do it for less than $5 to $10 per person. And that's just insanely expensive when you're thinking about it. And the alternative is it's so much easier to utilize the organic approach that I've been teaching and preaching on LinkedIn since 2012, which is simply what I call digital door knocking, literally going one-on-one to your ideal prospects on LinkedIn and reaching out to them, knocking on their virtual door, their LinkedIn profile. And the way it works is super simple. You take your personal LinkedIn profile, you sign up for Sales Navigator, which is a paid version of LinkedIn. It's more, right? But it gives you more data. The big thing about LinkedIn, if you don't understand the platform, is their big value to you and me is data. They know everything about every single member. They know every keystroke you've ever entered in, everything in your profile, every keyword, anywhere you've worked, where you went to college, what software you use, what hobbies you have, what you're interested in, where you volunteer, anything you've entered into LinkedIn, people can reverse engineer as a search. So especially if you pay for a higher, ticket version of LinkedIn, like Sales Navigator, you get these incredible lists where you can say, I want to find people with this job title who have been in the role for this many years, and went to this college and live in this town and are in this industry and are at a company that does this much in revenue. So you can make just these pitch perfect lists of your ideal prospects. And what I found with LinkedIn, instead of trying to run ads to all those people and paying $5 to $10 for every single person just to kind of look at your stuff, you can actually just go to them one-on-one. And it's the whole message that I've talked about in my book, LinkedIn Riches. It's what we do for our Done For You clients every single day. But the very simple formula is you use your personal profile, you sign up for Sales Navigator, you build lists of these ideal prospects that you want to reach, the exact type of business owner or the role that they have in a company, all those things, where they're located, all those things. And you basically reach out to them one-on-one with LinkedIn messages. All the money on LinkedIn, and I will scream this till I'm blue in the face, but all the money's in the mailbox. All the money on LinkedIn is in one-on-one direct messaging. So what you do, and this is what I'm currently seeing work best right now as I speak to you, is you send a simple one-on-one message to each prospect, either as a LinkedIn invite, a LinkedIn DM. If you're connected at the first degree, you can send it for free. Other people have open profiles, which means you can send a free message. It's basically a free in-mail. And then if you have Sales Navigator, you get a paid subscription. So you get what's called paid in-mails. You get 50 or 100 or whatever it is per month, where any of those leads, even if you're not connected, you can send a free message with a subject line and a message directly to them, and LinkedIn alerts them and make sure they see it. The bottom line is, using some of the different methods of outreach on LinkedIn, one-on-one outreach, you can easily reach out to 100 to 200 people per day. And I've got all the methods in the book, LinkedIn Riches. If you want it for free, and if you don't have it already, just go to linkedinriches.com. You can download the whole book for free. It's got all the different ways to build the lists, all the different methods to do that outreach. But the bottom line is, instead of spending money on LinkedIn ads, you can either do it yourself or hire a team member or hire an agency like us. We can reach out to 100 to 200 of your ideal prospects every day, one-on-one, directly to their inbox. So your personal LinkedIn profile to their personal LinkedIn profile. And what happens is you're basically doing digital door knocking, but you've built these neighborhoods where every single virtual house and door that you knock on, you know exactly who lives there. You know that they're the hospital CFO who lives in this city, who's been the CFO for at least 10 years. And, their hospital does this much in revenue and has this many employees. So they're a perfect fit for your product, right? So you're not wasting your time, unlike with some ads where it's like, well, maybe the right person sees it, maybe they don't. I hope it targets the right person. The beauty of this one-on-one outreach is you're building lists, you're looking at them and going, yes, that's the exact person I would love to be in front of. Then you have a very simple process where you literally just reach out with one message that says, hey, insert the name. Hey, Sally. Hey, Bill. Can I share my best free tips with you on blank? Or can I send you my best free tips on blank? Or can I share a free copy of my ebook on blank? That's it. One line, one question. Can I send you my best free tips on blank? And blank is, of course, their biggest pain point, the biggest thing they're struggling with, what they want to solve most in their business right now. So, depending on what your product or service is, you want to reverse engineer your best free tips to do that. So for me, selling Done For You LinkedIn lead generation services, I might go to a target audience of mine, let's say small business owners, and that one line message to every single small business owner is, hi, John, hi, Biff, hi, Sally, hi, Fred, insert the name. Can I send you my best free tips on how small business owners can get more clients with LinkedIn? That's it. That's all you say in the one-on-one message. Or can I send you, I have other niche specific like ebooks I've created where I might say, I'm going to target franchise consultants as one of the niche audiences we serve. And I'll say, build a list of 200 franchise consultants. I'll reach out one-on-one to each of them and say, hey, insert their name. Can I send you a free digital copy of my book, LinkedIn Lead Generation for Franchise Consultants? Or I have another ebook that might be, hey, can I send you a free copy of my ebook, LinkedIn Lead Generation for Business Coaches, LinkedIn Lead Generation for Consultants? The idea is you're either offering free content or tips specific to their niche that promises to solve one of their big pain points. So for me, right, for my audience, one of their pain points is lead generation. For you, it's whatever, your service is, helping them increase profitability, increase employee retention, reduce employee turnover, increase profitability and reduce expenses, whatever it is that your, product or service does, the problems it solves. And what happens is when you reach out to 1 to 200 people a day with that one simple question as a LinkedIn DM, you get a good amount of people raising their hand saying, sure, yes, why not? Send the tips over. It's a simple permission-based ask. You're not trying to marry them on the first date. You're not asking them to fill out a form. You're not requiring them to meet with you. You're not pitching anything at all. You're just trying to start the conversation saying, would you like free tips on this? Are you even interested? If they are, now you can send them those free tips. And now we get into the whole cycle of having your content as currency. This free content that you send over, your tips, do the heavy lifting. They help a prospect get to know, like, and trust you, to learn your backstory, where you came from, and then also all your best frameworks, tips, tools, resources to solve that core problem. Because once you've delivered that free content to a person, now they get bought into you on their own time. And what I found works best is these ebooks, right? A 3,000 to 5,000 word ebook where basically it's 50% your story, your journey, your tales from the trenches, who you are, where you came from, what you're passionate about, why you do what you do, because they need to get to know you as a person. And if you're part of a big company, they need to get to know your company story and what is your company and how did it get founded and what's the guiding principle and what's the story behind it and why do you guys do what you do, right? So 50% your story with authentic photos and real people, and then 50% your best stuff, your tips, your frameworks, your case studies, not fluff, but like actual things that would help them solve the problems. And when you deliver that as your one piece of free content, then people basically see two things. One is I really get to know, like, and trust you personally and would like to do business with you. You're my kind of person because of your values and your story and your journey. And I feel like I can relate to you. And they read your tips, techniques, frameworks, strategies and go, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Those are the types of, results that I want. Like, this makes sense to me intellectually. And most people are going to look at your best tips and say, well, I don't want to do all this myself or do all the work. But yes, I would hire you to implement it for me. And that's why this works so well, to quickly build trust and get people interested into your, funnel as kind of a pre-qualified, warmed up, ready to buy lead. And that's literally the system we run every single day for our clients that are doing 5 and 6 figure deals on LinkedIn to random cold prospects. So it doesn't take rocket science and it doesn't take a huge ad budget. That's really kind of the lie I wanted to dismantle here was you don't need to run tons of ads. You don't need to do tons of paid traffic. You just need to be smart about who you're approaching, how you're approaching them, and then what you're kind of offering and just stepping people in. So hope that's helpful for you. Again, feel free if you've got questions or want to reach out, visit us at nemomediagroup.com. You can get lots of free resources there. You can contact us, ask more questions, learn all about our done-for-you services. If you want free copies of any of the books, the formats, the frameworks, again, you can either go to linkedinriches.com, which is the main book, or nemomediagroup.com. That's got all the niche books for like business coaches, consultants, M&A consultants, who else? Financial services professionals, anything and everything, all the different niches we serve. So thanks so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon on another episode.